Digi.
Okay.
Well, kung magdidigi man ng ArkAngel dito, I really think that I've seen this one. Siguro pinakamagandang reference gonna be M2 coming from Burmese Ghoul. This is not the typical digi that we had during Season 6 wherein yung the feeding strategy.
Digi.
So this digi, pero ang daming open eh. And if they're gonna be picking a digi as their first pick dito, parang ang hirap ngayon ditong itansyahin eh kung ano ang gusto ba talagang mangyari dito ng ArkAngel. Yeah. What is it gonna be? Ang dami ring open eh. Basha, Jawhead ang naging sagot dito ng ArkAngel. We've seen this from Yummy. The way he actually plays nitong Jawhead na to, hindi to yung bastang invade eh. Ang style ng Jawhead dito, most of the time dito ni Yummy is that they go for Lish first. Then by the time na na-lish na nila yung kanilang jungler, that's the time he actually goes for invade or probably tag along sa kanilang mid-mage.
Totoo yun. Kumbaga parang more on control. Possibly go for the early, lish nga yung ejector type and then go for the jungle. Depende yun kapag more on jungle-oriented or core-oriented dito yung magiging playstyle ng Empire. Pero dalawang opportunity ngayon ang Empire for the pick. Ano pa ba yung mga pick natin na commonly? Benedetta is
definitely open.
Yep,
Ayan na nga.
Benedetta.
Called it out, Kuya TDC, and Basha.
Saktong-sakto.
Kung sinasabi natin Farsa wins games, even Basha was actually part of it eh. We've seen this kanina sa teamwork would actually work for them for the next 2 games. Given itong Benedetta na to, na kung papansinin mo para sa isang Jawhead, ang hirap hulihin ng isang Benedetta. Even you have an unstoppable force, even you have this ejector, alisan ka lang, tatakbuhan ka lang yan with the continuous dashes na manggagaling dito sa Benedetta. Now, the answer is Harit and Khalid.
Okay. So, ang dami ng AoE dito ng AA. At, well, more on AoE. Zaman Force is really good, pero more on the single target and also easier for them to take down the objectives early.
Alam mo, Kuya TDC, this is a different kind of strategy coming from ArkAngel. Why? Is that they're already revealing their 2 side lanes. And definitely this Jawhead gonna be their main tank. So, what is lacking right now for ArkAngel? Escalera, I think he's the only person who actually uses Valier here on the main qualifiers, and one of the heroes din na talagang gamit na gamit niya at alam niya talagang i-utilize ng maigi. So, Team Empire here must actually pick their, well, Alice will be their answer. A good pick, to be honest, since there's nothing to, walang parang deny pick eh, since they already took down the Basha from themselves. So, parang walang direct counter for the Alice dito unless ArkAngel dito would be picking like a burst damage on their 2 next picks.
Yep, burst damage indeed. Maybe Eudora, nakikita natin yung Eudora most of the time na talagang pinipick na rin ng mga teams natin dito for our main qualifiers. And tingin ko rin, pwede open dito yung Sylvana eh. Sylvana with the Necklace of Durance, I think they can counter two or current 2 heroes here para sa Empire. And maganda rin siyang catch para hindi makapag-flowing blood. Kasi Kuya Rob, napansin ko dito sa side ng Empire is sobrang bilis, sobrang mobile ng mga heroes ng first 3 pick heroes dito ng Empire. Merong Benedetta, merong mga Baksha, and also the Alice. So I think they also need to get at least 1 crowd control sa side dito ng AA.
Posibleng mangyari yon, or they would like to na ito talagang Jawhead na lang yung maging main tank nila. So for sure dito ang ArkAngel, we're still looking on to get their jungler. So what's gonna be available on the pool right now? It's possibly a Claude. Pero marami pa tayong magiging ban dito eh. So in terms of banning dito, they're tinarget na rin lang nila for the first 3 bans dito yung mid-mage eh. Might as well na cancelin mo na lahat dito ng mga ano pa bang mga available. I don't think it's worth na mag-ban ng Veil kasi isa yun sa mga nakikita ko, even the Eudora that you actually said earlier, pwede nilang iban yung Eudora if they're gonna be getting the Claude.
Yeah, kasi sobrang risky, more of a glass cannon kasi din yung yung Claude eh. So yeah, I completely agree. Pero mukhang Chang ang binan dito ng AA. Understandable kasi kailangan din nila more on kasi almost melee na rin kasi si Alice eh when it comes to team fights eh. No, kailangan niyang pumasok sa pinakaloob para mas maging sulit yung blood oath niya, and they need to get that long range since yung band yung Farsa. So they're also respecting the meteor shower output, damage output from this champion.
Well, I get the point dito, no, Kuya TDZ, why they actually gonna be banning the Chango. Kasi the way ang gameplay kasi ng ArkAngel, they are targeting most of the time the mid game. They just have to hold on the early game. We're in. Nandito naman si Yami on the jawhead, could be able to hold it down. Yung side lane naman nila sustainable with a good minion wave clear. Andito yung Khalid, nandito yung Harry. So they're looking on the mid game to be their power spike. And yung Chango na yun, nag-make sense yun kasi mapupush. What I mean is hindi kayo agad-agad mapupush. Pero kinuha dito ng Team Empire, and mind you, Kuya TDZ, this is one of the heroes na ginamit din nila kahapon na sobrang linis. Kung di ako nagkakamali, there was a side lane na Claude yung gamit nila kahapon, but this time around, this is gonna be a jungler, and we've seen this earlier on Teamwork. Chu ang gumamit nito, sobrang linis din ng laro niya, and this could be a possibility na maulit yon. Pero
sabi mo
speaking
kanina,
of sagot,
Rob,
para sa isang Claude,
napakagandang predictions as well from Rob here. Again, Eudora, possible hover here for AA. Since, naintindihan natin, tagang glass cannon, one of the best ways for them to stop the BMI or the escape from Claude is to stun him instantly. So, the ball lightning, plus pag meron pa silang yung passive ng Eudora, kumakalat ng ball lightning, which is also a good opportunity for them to disable at least all the melee heroes, since most of the time, talagang salubsob ang laruan dito ng Empire, no?
Alam mo Kuya TDC, now that I come think of it, na nangyari nga to kanina, there was sort of itong pick ng ArkAngel was close enough to aether main kasi on the first match nila, UG did actually use a Eudora and Van was actually using the Jawhead. Meanwhile naman dito, this is technically parang somehow like a copy-paste ng ginamit din kanina ng Teamwork, wherein wala lang yung Benedetta, the Basha, the Alice, and the Claude. Ito din yung naging formula kanina ng Teamwork. So, yeah, this might actually work.
Pag nag-times journey, purify para sa lahat, may additional shield. Kung hindi pa enough yung shield, meron pa siyang AGs to protect ubusan Arlak on his Claude. Pero mga kaibigan, ito na nga ang Game 1 ng ating match number 2, AA versus SB. And nakikita natin dito rotation, very 2018 siyang gagamit ng Digi, and is also already planting up the box.
Oo, and I really like you pointed out, no, yung Digi doon with the Aegis. Why? Even on egg form, yung pagpatay yung Digi, he actually can pop the Aegis whenever, kahit patay siya. So that's an additional defensive mechanism coming dito sa side ngayon ng Team Empire.
Pati yung maganda rin yung egg dance niya, no, hindi makaka-recall yung kalaban. So they can, well, tingin ko ano yun siya parang
saka ano din yun
underrated na hero
Jutert din yun
kung ayaw mo umikot, Jutert na lang.
Oo. Well, I've seen a lot of Digis din, of course, in reference with M2. Isa rin to sa naging highly contested ban. Was a definite ban, of course. That was Bren Esports against Burmese Gold. Makwento ko lang sa'yo, Kuya TDZ. Iba rin yung approach kasi talaga ng Burmese Gold dito, and all 7 games ban to sa Grand Finals ng M2.
Nako, Kuya Rob, kitang-kita natin dito yung galawan ni Ambush 3435 using the Eye of Storm to prevent the ball lightning damage for support lightning. So, tagang awareness. Malaki yung awareness dito ni Ambush 345, but look at this extension with the Basha Unity. Mo tinamaan dito with the stun, but enough ba yung damage nila? I don't think so, but with the execute, I think it is enough. Pero may stack siya go with the Zaman Force going in and pushing back Ambush 3435. Pero ang laki agad ng damage dito, and 1-1. Well, kapag nag-1-1 ka kasi, most of the time, kailangan bumabad ka sa lane para makuha mo yung full, yung full gold and XP.
Parang kailangan mo kasi ma-secure at least 2 items dito kasi sa 1-1 for it to become online Pero look at that blazing duet with the extra dito, TDZ.
Naku, meron pang reverse time, pero mahuhuli dito, first blood para sa side ng AA. Bung hindi pa rin sila tapos, Zaman Force plus the Chrono Dashes, he will take 2. Saksa Jago, makakuha ng magandang early game at mukhang nagta-transition agad sila sa turtle area.
Ang ganda ng point of initiation doon ni Yami. Saktong-sakto yung yung pagbato niya, then suddenly nandun din sila malapit sa turtle pit. Wow, that was a great start para sa side dito ng ArkAngel. We're talking about na itong 1-1 na to, kailangan talaga ng ng space, ng time para makapag-farm siya. He has to get his corrosion side, then possibly a DHS. From there siguro mararamdaman na natin tong 1-1. So ito ang kailangan gawin talaga dito ng mga tropa natin from ArkAngel, is that to give time dito kaya Ninja Killa. By the way, this other name is Yasuo.
Yasuo! Oo, no. So, tingin ko nakakita rin namin sa interview na ni Uncle Joy, ni Ginoong Valdez So, yeah, I completely agree. doon, Rob, at talagang kailangan ng space dito ni Ninja Killa para mas maging effective or mas makuha niya kaagad ang kanyang power spike. As you can see, Joy Boy is also assisting Ninja Killa kapag nakita niya na si Benedetta nawawala sa mapa. Pero dalawa kaagad, early transitioning into a corrosion site at with that enough gold, 1,000, almost 2,000 gold sa kanya. I think it's within the 30 seconds or a 1 minute mark makakakuha agad siya ng kanyang corrosive site.
Yes, definitely a good start dito mga kaibigan for ArkAngel, but Team Empire, they do have this Benedetta na pwedeng magbaliktad na itong laro. Inaabangan na nila ngayon dito si Yasuo onto the bottom lane. Ninja Killa nga muna ang tatawagin natin sa kanya since ito yung pangalan. By the way, pwede ko palang ikwento rin sa'yo, no? Kuya TDC, pero mamaya na yon dahil may bakbakan dito sa baba.
Apat ang nasa baba. Mukhang nahuli ang isa with the ejector plus unstoppable force. Fourth lightning but with a save from the time's journey. Secure lang, para manigurado lang na hindi mamamatay si Ambush 3435 with that combo from AA. But going back, Kuya Rob, sabi kanina.
That was a good save, Kuya TDC. Yung pag-pop doon ng Aegis was right on cue para dito kay Vern. I think Vern is also known as Imba. Imba. Yeah, I've seen this one as well. A very bubbly person. But going back dun sa kukwento ko sa iyo, yung Ninja Killa kasi dito ni Yasuo was actually his name right after nung Season 6 Qualifiers natin. So Yasuo yung name niya, nagpalit siya ng Ninja Killa even on Scream, and yeah, thanks to information coming from Midnight.
Thank you po. Pati maangas din talaga yung pangalan na Ninja Killa. Pero kasi tulad ng angas dito sa loob, rather sa middle lane, AA going for the turtle. Almost quarter HP na iyon dito mga kaibigan, pero si Ambush 3435 mukhang nga-ambush din siya dito at maghahanap ng magandang steal. Pero enough nga ba yun? Merong retribution dito si Saxa Jago, so I'm not sure if he will be successful with the Calamity Reaper plus the turtle buff. Saxa Jago is looking really good para sa early game ng AA.
They have complete control dito mga kaibigan with the early game, and given fall, making the Alice fall onto the top lane. Wow, this is a very impressive start talaga, Kuya TDC.
Indeed, with that ultimate there from Eudora, Ambush 3435, solid na solid. So, ang nakikita mo talaga yung yung reflexes dito ni Ambush 3435, lahat ng spell, lahat ng skill na de-deflect ng eye for an eye, at hindi sila makahanap ng successful gank dito sa side ng AA. However, looking at the top lane, nakakapag-farm at nakakahuli nga dito si Paul, at talaga nakokontrol niya yung early game dito ni Bullwit 16. At ang mahirap dito, kapag nakokontrol mo yung Alice, mahirap pa siya makakuha ng kanyang Blood Orbs.
Indeed. Alam mo, Kuya TDZ, well, extension dito, getting the attention dito mga kaibigan ng ArkAngel, and he's about to fall. Mukhang may susunod pa si Ambush 3435. But going back to what about to say, sabihin na natin 5-0 yung score natin dito. In terms of lead, that's almost 2,000 to 3,000 for the side of ArkAngel. Pero hindi pa rin nila pwedeng basta-basta maliitin dito ang Team Empire. Itong Claude na to is continuously farming even with the Alice itself. Yan, si Extension pwedeng mamatay pa ulit-ulit. That's gonna be the Basha. Pero if hindi nila mapatay dito si Ubosan Arlock,
Huling-huli kaagad, Zaman Force, Blazing Duet at Time's Journey para ma-secure lang at ma-stop yung snowball factory dito ni Saxa Jago.
But that's a shutdown, Kuya TDC, and that's something you wouldn't want to give dito sa Team Empire. Kasi like what I've said, lamang sila dito on early game, but this is still completely pwedeng ma-turn around pa rin to ng Team Empire.
Alecto final blow para makatakas dun sa initiation sa gang potential ni Ninja Killa, but Ninja Killa just hitting the strikes here and force Ambush 3435 para umuwi.
That's a slight miscommunication coming from ArkAngel. Gumo kasi doon si si Saxa. But well, good decision making din on the back end naman dito ng ArkAngel na wag nang sumunod kasi there's a possibility nga na na-pick off doon yung Harit. At least hindi na magkaroon ng mga collateral damage sa mga iba pang members dito ng ArkAngel. Still, they are on the lead with the 3,000, and ngayon another turtle would want to be secured ngayon dito ng ArkAngel.
Nakita mo naman taga doon si Joy Boy. Talagang tinos niya pa yung Lethal Wonder para makakuha siya ng additional speed. Since magiging next target dito is yung turtle. Pura mukhang nahilo dito si Diggy with the enough burst. Ejector ulit with the smart missile extension. Forced to use his shield, back sa shield unity to run away. Pero apat na miyembro kaagad ang AA. Maganda ang kanilang posisyon. Half HP kaagad at mukhang sila ulit ang makakuha ng second turtle of the game.
Sila nga ang nakakuha doon. Nagulat doon si Verne. Hindi niya ina-expect na patalunan siya doon under the brushes. And what's scary right now for ArkAngel, TDZ? You know what? It's yung 1-1. Hindi pa masyadong napapansin. And Jobby will about to fall. Pero ito na, Yasuo here, or rather Ninja Killa, going here on the mid lane. Ito na, mararamdaman na natin dito. I think he already has his 2 core item. Meanwhile, yung Khalid sa top lane, DDZ, hindi na napansin.
Trabaho lang, sabi dito ni Paul. At dalawa kaagad ang na-fall na turrets dito sa side ng Team Empire. At si Sacha Jago mo ang nakakapag-free farm lang din. At nakita natin yung galawang kanina ng AA, no? Talagang iniwan nila si Sacha Jago dun sa may turtle para sa kanya yung experience lahat-lahat. But with the additional gold, looking at the net worth right now, slowly going up sa side ng AA. Dito mga makahuli naman sila ng isa. Walang takas. Reverse time para kay Escalera. 25 seconds to the side. With the ultimate here from the Paul. But with the time's journey, will be forced out. At ito na nga ang AA. Humahabol. Talking about humahabol dito. Zaman of course will be committed as well. Very with the blazing duet naman para kay Busan Arlak. Pero unti lang din tinamaan. With the ultimate here from Paul. Dalawa ang matutumba dito. And make that 3 because Very will go down as well. 3 casualties. Exchange into 1 sa side ng AA.
Oh no, that was a good chase coming from ArkAngel TDZ. Though ambush here, been able to cut the lanes dito pero not enough dahil nabasag pa rin naman yung torre nila dito sa gitna. In terms of lead dito mga kaibigan, this is a 6,000 lead. In terms of items naman, Claude already secured his DHS pero this is not enough TDC. Kailangan niya ng golden staff dito to be able to dish out more damage para mas maramdaman siya dito ng Harit. Maramdaman siya rito ng 1-1.
Indeed, at nakita natin dito yung items DHS plus corrosive sight and he might go for another item here. Maybe a Queen's Wings as early as possible para ma-defend dyan yung burst damage ng Blazing Duet. And look at the items of this Harit. Concentrated Energy, Feather of Heaven plus the Calamity Reaper. So pumuputok lahat ng dashes niya with the true damage on top of the Calamity Reaper.
Not only that, that's also a sustainable type of pick. Hindi siya nagpunta dito sa Holy Crystal for burst. He goes for the concentrated energy para mas matagal siya sa mga prolonged team fight.
Nako, Tiam's journey pero mukhang naiwan siya doon sa loob at hindi ready na sorpresa dito ang Team SV at Team AA already going for the Lord. Napakaganda rin position ng Lord dito, mas safe sa side ng ArkAngel. Extension trying to move forward, rather backward here but not enough. Kulang sa oras dito ang AA. And also with the Retribution, Beast Killer has been purchased by Saxa Jago. So at mas makunat na si Saxa Jago ngayon. With the concentrated energy, they need to burst or expend a lot of skills kung yung Empire against this Harit. So tama ka doon, Kuya Rob. Talagang looking at the current situation right now, lamang na lamang dito yung AA when it comes to taking turrets and also when it comes to the team fight because of the itemization dito ni Saxa Jago. And also very kailangan talaga niya maging very safety sa pag-position dito because the main role of this Diggy is to protect and also give time and space para kay Ubusan Arlak na makapag-farm. But look at the KDA of Ubusan Arlak dito, 1-1-2. Pero there's still a lot of opportunity to catch up. Pero ang ginagawa dito ng AA, talagang kinakapitalize nila yung map at hindi nila binibigyan ng opportunity dito yung SB na makapag-farm.
They're definitely ArkAngel here on the commanding lead as the Lord already approaching onto the top lane. Wala na ngayong mga inner turrets dito ang Team Empire and they're about to go onto the top lane. 5 members dito TDZ ang papasok sa base ng Team Empire.
Nako, delikado dito, kumakatok na ang Lord. Ambush 3-4-3-5, almost quarter HP, pero nang makbakan nito, Blood Oath. Hindi ko pala ni Bullwit 16 yung damage, but look at the chrono dashes. Buhay pa rin siya, mega kill, killing spree para kay Khalid. Mga kaibigan, walang tumumba sa side dito ng ArkAngel. Bukod sa Lord, pero objective is the name of the game. Mission accomplished. Tier 3 turret sa top lane has already been taken out with the initiation from Joey. Flicker in, plus the ejector. Saxa Jago, mukhang makakuha dito with the chrono dashes, plus the Zaman Force. AA will take game 1 against Empire.
DZ, Farsa, and if I'm not mistaken, Farsa is also one of the best pick din kasi nung kanilang mid-mage. Yan, si Imba or si Verio is gonna be using it right now. Meanwhile, on ArkAngel, now, Benedetta, you mentioned it earlier, Benedetta +1, and the question is, kung kukunin nila yung Benedetta, what's gonna be it for the +1? Will ArkAngel be the one to use the Basha over here on the Team Empire, or the Sylvana is actually gonna be a good pick dito for ArkAngel?
mas safe yan. Tingin ko kasi mas pwede niyang mahabol. Maraming capability yung Sylvana na makahabol kapag nag-wings by wings. Dito yung Parsa. Again, Imperial Justice to close the gap and then Cometic Lance kung sakali. Or go for the Cometic Lance first then dash then to Imperial Justice. And with that, ito nang yung nagiging +1 dito ng AA on top of the Benedetto.
Ang dami ding reach dito for the side of ArkAngel. Saka kung iisipin mo in terms of having a Sylvana, napaka broad or rather napaka-versatile ng type ng draft na pwede nyong gawin talaga whenever you have this Sylvana. You could go for a draft na pwedeng puro AOE. You could go for a draft na pwede kayong panghuli nyo gagamitin yung Imperial Justice wherein pwede nyong ma-burst down kagad yung mga heroes na with high mobility. Like for example, a Lancelot, even a Ling, or even Hayabusa. Yung mga ganong klase ng mga hero. But for the side of Team Empire, they're still gonna be picking once again, they'll be going for the Digi and the Claude.
So tingin ko parang ito na yung magiging ngayon, no? Kapag merong Claude, merong Digi to protect. Pero I completely agree. Tingin ko napakagandang pick din dito against Sylvana. Nakita natin yan nung M2. Talagang napakalaking counter because again, Sylvana shines on the mobility as well. But he will risk to use his skills after that. So kapag meron nahuli ng isang Imperial Justice, Recta times journey. Kapag kung sakali makatakas, isang reverse time kaagad. And I think that is really efficient for SB to pick that Digi as soon as possible. Kasi kapag naban siya kaagad, with this current draft from AA, ang laki, ang taas ng physical burst ng AA ngayon.
Sobrang sakit ng physical damage indeed talaga dito ng ArkAngel. And given the heroes dito ng side ngayon ng Team Empire, this is the Farsa, this is a Claw jungler. And yes, pwedeng mag-build dito ang Digi ng tank items, but in terms of scaling, the Hayabusa would always outbest dito yung mga squishy heroes ngayon dito ng Team Empire. So, kita mo na ito na yung most likely gonna be the trio for the side ngayon ng Team Empire. Itong Digi na to would be their support tank in a sense, and as well, itong Farsa, well, do you think there's a possibility that this Farsa na ginagamit ng ibang teams going for like XP lane? At pwede pang posible na pumik dito ng ibang mage, pero I doubt no? Kasi parang in terms of the way ang draft natin ngayon is that Team Empire would probably go for a certain fighter like a Yuzhong, or pwede rin Lapu-Lapu once again, or the Basha is already been banned ngayon dito ng ArkAngel. So, I'm really leaning towards dito for Team Empire to be picking a fighter to be able like a pseudo tank for them on the mid game.
I completely agree, and you might be right on that one na pwedeng siyang maging side lane sa XP lane kasi nagsashine talaga siya once na nakakuha agad siya ng level 4. Kung sakaling papwesto si Farsa sa XP lane, ang bilis ng rotation dito ng Empire. And I think it is also enough if they will go for the Farsa side lane para matulungan dito yung Claude na mabigyan ng space sa jungle area nila. I completely agree there, that is also possible. Kaso ang magiging risk dito sa AA is medyo matatagalan yung rotation dito kasi dulo-dulo ang magiging side lanes, ang magiging lakad dito or rather lipad ng Farsa kung sakali. So, looking at AA naman, ang taas ng nila, physical burst nila, amplifying with the passive of Sylvanas, talagang masakit.
This is very scary indeed for the side of ArkAngel dito, TDC. Why? Even on level 1, they could potentially get a pick-off dito, mga kaibigan. This Khalid, probably Fall will once again use this one. And alam mo naman, during level 1, specifically pag-execute din yung gagamitin dito ng Khalid, either even kahit nga ang gamitin niya pa dito is flicker Pagka tumama sa iyo yung Desert Tornado na even yung tatlong slashes nun, talagang makakaramdam ka talaga. Leeg talaga ang
leeg
tama.
Ang tama.
Oo.
Kumbaga bawat ikot, tsak, tsak, tsak. Yung panghuling-huli, sobrang sakit pa naman nun. Pero kidding aside guys, masakit talaga ang control dito. Pwede siya mag-execute, pwede siya mag-flicker, pero with the current lineup of SB, I think it is wise for him to use the flicker to at least close the gap. Pero ang sagot dito ng Empire, gusto niyo pumasok gusto niyo makipagbakbakan ng fighter para sa Khalid, bibigyan namin kayo ng demonyong thumbs, and also si Little Red Riding Hood, si Ruby lalabas dito. Tingin ko, crowd control, Ruby is a very nice pick here. Again, yung second skill niya, Don't Run Wolf King, is enough to pull, or at least, since melee heroes ang karamihan dito ng AA, he can take advantage of that, and also yung ultimate niya, yung I'm Offended, kahit papasok sa Torre with the flicker combo.
Bawal ma-offend yan si Ruby
Bawal ma-offend.
Hahatakin ka niya sa loob ng Torre.
Tapos melee heroes lahat ng AA. Really looking good here, guys, for Team Empire. At tingin ko, this is a possible, really effective draft if they can pull it off successfully. Cecilio. Ng physical burst dito ng AA. But ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Land of Dawn. This is Game 2 ng ating match number 2. SV versus AA sa red side at looking really good. Sabi mo kanina, Kuya Rob, talagang more on impact, high impact games ang stored natin ng dalawang teams dito para sa atin. Escalera against Very 2018 sa mid, Ninja Killa plus Bullwhip naman sa top lane, and Ambush 3435 at Paul naman sa bottom lane. So we're seeing a lot of early rotation here and also the bombs being placed here in the middle lane para ma-prevent yung mga rotation ng A.
This is a very rare na makakita tayo ng Cecilio na highly high tier matches natin, and interested talaga ako dito. Most specifically kung paano yung magiging approach dito ni Escalera going into the early game. So ang mangyari dito, TDZ, i-hold lang both of the mages dito yung gitna, and I think baka magkaroon tayo dito ng medyo slow phase in terms dito sa momentum.
Tingin ko rin talaga kasi more on late game, especially for the Claude sa side ng SV, the best thing that they can do is to protect. Nakita natin, that's also one of the reason why pinili nila si Diggy, para Diggy na nakatang emblem plus tenacity, and meron din siyang AG, so talagang pinakunat yung Diggy nila. All protect, support Diggy dito para mabiglan ng mas magandang farm or ng space dito sa ubusan Arlac. So yeah, I completely agree. Late game kasi mayroong din kailangang stacks dito sa Escalera for the Sicilian.
Totoo. And well, as the game goes by, in terms of pagka nag-scaling na tayo, so pwede rin natin i-consider na pwedeng main damage dealer dito ng side ng ArkAngel dito si Escalera, but unfortunately yung Farsadon with TDZ, he was got picked off by Saxa.
Napakagandang first blood dito sa side ng AA. Tulad na kanina, with the shadow kill plus the quad shadow, he can easily go in and get out of any skirmishes. At mukhang nakakalamang dito ang AA. Ang bilis maubos ng HP ng Turtle, Kuya Rob.
Oo, and that's one of the strength, of course, ng isang Hayabusa na nagsisnowball talaga early game, and now, delikado na naman dito si Extension as he's about to fall.
Joy Boy with a spiral strangling, huling-huli kahit gaano kakakunat, pag umistak ang aking passive, lalambot at lalambot ka rin, at naging kakabalik niya rin din sa middle lane. So I think that's also one of the best ways kung bakit nagdidigi sila, laging nandun yung presensya ng digi ni Extension every single time, and I think that is also enough for them to follow this Claude whenever he's farming.
Kailangan lang talagang i-hold to ng Team Empire. We actually know their winning condition dito. It wasn't the early game, hindi rin naman kailangan makipagsabayan dito talaga ng Team Empire. They have their own power spike. That is, pag nakapag-farm na dito yung Claude, hindi kailangan lang maging tanky nung dalawang sustain heroes dito on the side lane dito ng Team Empire, and let alone wag ma-pick off. Kumbaga, ang gagawin dito ng Team Empire, i-hold lang nila to, parang ita-turtle it out nila to the point na pagka reliable na yung damage dito ng Claude, dun na lang sila sasabay, or probably get an awkward engagement para sa side dito ng ArkAngel, at pwede nila yung i-punish.
Yeah, again, look for any opening, sabi nga dito ni Rob, para sa side ng Empire, at yun yung possible way for them to punish this rotation from AA. But talking about rotation, Imperial Justice mukhang nahuli dito. I'm offended. Plus, the damage from the Don't Run Wolf King, enough to take down Jago and stop him from snowballing. Pero si Bullwhip talaga dito, ang ganda ng pagkakahatak nyo dun sa loob.
Yes, yun yung mga engagement na kailangan gawin talaga. So, in terms of sa boxing dito, Kuya TDC, kumbaga counter puncher kasi dito ang Team Empire. And yun yung mga kailangang iwasan dito ng ArkAngel, yung maging masyadong sabihin na natin maasi, maging overly aggressive. Kasi itong early game na to, hawak na nila to pero hindi nila pwedeng basta-bastahin dito ang Team Empire. Kumbaga, kailangan lang nilang hanapin dito yung power spike nila. I think this is the right moment, or probably kung meron silang ipipick up, probably the Tamos is the best option compared to a Ruby.
Totoo yun. R to the E spec para sa side ng SV. Again, mga kaibigan, nakadalawang Festival of Blood dito ang both fighters ng Empire, at kapag sila nagkaroon ng stock, mahihirapan ang AA dito when it comes, or once we went to our mid-game to late-game fights. Si Jago naman nakakapagkakaroon ng magandang farm. He went for the Warrior Boots, but ang ganda rin ang position dito sa side ng Turtle. Pero tingin ko may idea dito ang SB, but are they able to catch up? Napakaganda feathered airstrike dito, pero wala silang ultimate, and they are way too late. Another Turtle has been taken sa side ng AA, at unti-unting lumalayo ang net worth dito sa side ng AA, 13.3 against 12.5 ng SB.
Tingin ko Kuya TDC, it's an even trade eh. Yes, nakuha doon ng ArkAngel yung turtle, but they actually get a pick off doon kay Ninja Killa.
Oo nga,
'di ba? So medyo hindi rin umabot, hindi rin kakayanin yung ng quicksand guard talaga. Technically wala na nga siyang time na gamitin yon dahil yung burst potential ngayon dito ng Team Empire malakas na rin talaga. Now meanwhile onto the top lane ngayon, ito ang tricky ngayon dito for the side of ArkAngel Kailangan nilang hanapin yung time kung kailan nila kailangan makapag-push. At yun yung magbibigay talaga ng malaking lead dito for ArkAngel. This might be it, Kuya TDZ, as they already secure a kill dito ngayon sa TAMS.
Sa TAMS ang nahuli, 13 seconds sa side ng ni Ambush 3435. But ang ganda ng combo nun nakita natin na lagi apat ang umiikot or tatlo pala ang umiikot dito sa side ng AA para ma-help or ma-assist nila yung stacks dito ng Cecilion. At kapag nagkaroon siya ng maraming stacks at pag nag-overflow na ang kanyang overflowing, mas masakit yung damage ng kanyang Bat Feast. So, tingin ko sobrang hirap niyan. Kailangan talagang i-take advantage ng SB yung oras nila na mag-apply ng pressure para sa AA.
Kumbaga ako yung EDC, super overflow na yun kasi nag-overflow na ang overflowing. But speaking of overflowing, nag-overflow na ngayon dito ang giggle ng ArkAngel as they are the one to get the first turret here on the bottom lane. Kailangan lang nilang ulit-ulitin to kay EDC.
Rinse and repeat.
They could get a pick off, then from there, convert it into a push. Hindi kasi pwede yung pag-pick off nila, babalik sila sa jungle nila, babalik sila sa pagpa-farm kasi nakakasabay dito in terms of gold dito ang Team Empire. This is a 2,000 lead, pero this is still manageable on their side.
Nako, talking about managing the rotations here and also the objectives. So, umikot dito, feathered airstrike, enough ba yun para mapatay na si Ninja Killa? Ninja Killa, lumuhod, pero na-takedown agad nila yung Claude. Ubusan, Arlak will go down, pero yung damage pa rin in the turtle objective has been taken out by Saxajago. 1-for-1 casualty, pero tingin ko, Kuya Rob, lumamang dun yung AA kasi na-take down nila si Ubusan Arlak.
Yes, that's definitely a favorable trade coming from ArkAngel. Muntikang pangang mabuhay doon si Yasuo or Ninja Killa. Kasi, nakapag quick sand guard pa siya, and buti na lang yung Tamus, zinone out yung ibang members dito ng ArkAngel. Kasi kung nakapag-back up doon sa Khalid, tingin ko baka na-turn around pa nila yun
Napakalaking possibility talaga. Pati Rob, hiwala yung fight, dalawang laban, isa sa may turtle area, nung na-take down nila si Ninja Killa, na umikot din naman agad yung Team Empire. So talagang lamang lang talaga sa position dito ang AA when it comes to that skirmish.
And that is something na ayaw mong mangyari if you are on the shoes of Team Empire right now, TDZ. Bakit? Kasi itong si Ubasan Arlak, itong Claude na to, ito yung pinakaalas nila dito. He will be the main damage. Of course, he's the jungler sa kanya lahat ng farm. Kumbaga, ang kailangan lang gawin ng mga fighters dito ng Team Empire is to sustain. Tanggapin nyo lahat ng damage. Ako na ang magiging clean up crew nyo going on to the late game.
I completely agree. Kasi ang kailangan lang talaga ditong gawin ng SV is maghanap na magandang fight and then wait na makakuha agad ng Blazing Duet for them to turn things around. But talking about turning things around here, AA as well is really having a very good time really closing up the gap with the Imperial Justice as well on the bottom lane. Ambush 3435 with a Vengeance plus the Continent Inferno. Will it be enough? The Bats has been flying. Bat Feast has been taken out or has been used to take out Ambush 3435 here. And +1 na naman sila sa turret. AA mukhang hindi humihinto. Extension, kailangan niya umalis sa may loob ng brushes at mukhang mauuli siya sa loob with the Spiral Strangling plus the Bat Feast. Hindi tumama dito yung kanyang Sanguine Claws, but with the return, initiate dito sa side ng Empire, forcing to use his Shadow Kill. And I think he's out of position here para kay Saxajago with the Quad Shadows. Enough ba yun? Mukhang mabubuhay yata siya. Hindi, sabi ni Bulwit. Be good for me, sabi dito. With the return kill as well from Escalera, saktong-sakto ang position ng kanyang first kill dito. 2-for-1 exchange. Pero talagang ginugulo pa rin. Ini-egg dance dito ni Diggy para hindi makatakas agad si Joeboy. But that is a successful disengage sa side ng AA.
Yes, that was definitely a messy team fight of both teams. Kasi ang nangyari kasi doon, nagkamali ng BMI yung pasok doon ng Claude. That's one of the reason na natanggal din yung kanyang Art of Thievery. Awkward na rin yung position niya to be able to use his Blazing Duet. Then parang nagkapilit nagdidikitan na eh. And luckily, hindi sila naubos doon kasi medyo makipot yung lugar na yun eh. Wherein, yun yung pinaka gusto mo if you are Escalera, if you are the Sicilian, yung dikit-dikit yung mga kalaban mo to be able for you to deal out the maximum damage para sa mage na to. Meanwhile, wala pa nga doon si Full eh. Kumbaga, that was a 4v5 technically match up and all the while, nagbabasag lang sa top lane yung Benedetta.
Nako, talking about Benedetta dito, 202. Meron siyang additional 10% life steal on top of his emblem, and they will also secure another turtle. Nako, Rob, si Escalera nakuha na niya ang kanyang Holy Crystal. Tapos kakatapos niya din makakuha yung kanyang Lightning Truncheon at talagang masakit kaagad ang damage dito ni Escalera. Ano mo pwedeng gawin dito ng Empire para ma-take down tong mga heroes dito ng AA?
Well, possibly pwede nilang pasukin dito si Escalera pero kasi hindi mo naman basta-basta madidikitan kasi ang isang Sicilian eh.
Oo.
So the best thing na pwede nilang gawin dito is probably do a counter engage. Pero dahil merong Lord ngayon, they have to play it defensively, Kuya TDZ. They have to go for the minion first and make sure na walang mapipick up sa kanila on the process.
Yep, and just like so, AA nakakuha na naman ng isa. Talagang kinakat nila lahat ng waves. Top, mid, bottom, at naghahanap sila ng magandang opportunity habang si Bulwit naman 16 trying to clear out the creep wave, but onto the bottom lane. Feathered Airstrike has been used already, plus the Imperial Justice, and a nice defense para sa Team Empire. Pero kailangan nilang i-defend dito sa may middle lane as well. AA knocking through the doors of SV here, middle lane. Almost half HP. Ninja Killa lumuhod din with a quick stand guard, trying to restore most of this HP para sa next team fight.
ArkAngel need to respect the defense capability dito ng Team Empire. Why? Meron silang mga Feather Airstrike dito. They have a lot of AoE damage given that nandito pa rin naman yung isang Ruby. We've seen this earlier na nakakuha siya ng I'm Offended. Pwede siyang mag-hook or rather mag-side papasok ng team nila. And given that dito sa side ng ArkAngel, walang may Purify. If they could be able to get sack sa Jago, they could be able to take down probably Escalera inside their base. And that's gonna be a good turnaround para sa Team Empire.
Perfect call, Rob. At talingin ko, yun din talagang pinaka-effective way for them to pierce the front lines of AA. Kaso mukhang nahulit dito si Bulwit. 16 at wala ng frontliners dito. Mahihirapan mag-defend. Question mark dito ang Empire kasi because sa damage, kita mo yung sobrang sakit. Subusan Arlak, kalahati ang kanyang HP niya at wala ng tier 3 turret dito mga kaibigan habang yung mga sideline samahan ng SB is pinupush din ng Cannon Waves. AA, mga nag-aabang na sa may labas ng main inhibitor turret dito. Escalera pumapasok din sa loob. Feathered Airstrike trying to defend their base. But will it be enough though? That's the big question. Pero mukhang hindi. Ambush 3-4-3-5 popping up the Vengeance plus the Counter Inferno. Saksa Jago taking a lot of damage here, almost half HP. Pero nakapagandang defense din dito sa side ng Team SB. They're able to repel and push back AA to defend for another wave.
Team Empire gets to leave another team fight dito, TDZ. That was very unfortunate for the side of Team Empire dahil yung Claw doon, tinimingan yon ni Ninja Killa. Nung pag BMI niya doon din, nag-Raging Sandstorm dito yung ating Khalid, and from there, nagsunod-sunod na and na-pick off nila doon yung Claude. And now, this is a commanding lead, TDZ. That was 11,000 gold lead for ArkAngel. Ang kailangan na lang nilang gawin dito, they could potentially freeze the lane, hold in, hanggang makakuha sila dito ng susunod na Lord as Team Empire. They're really struggling on defending right now.
Totoo yan. At talagang tingin ko, well, totoo talaga yun, Rob, 35 seconds na lang ang next respawn timer ng Lord at kailangan talagang makipagbakbakan ka agad. Go for the high risk, high reward plays dito sa side ng Empire, tingin ko talaga. At yun ang magiging sagot para ma-repel at ma-force ng Game 3 for this match.
Kumbaga, parang nakita na rin natin to kanina no? Parang isipin mo yung ginagawa nilang TP dito, parang na sila ng chakra eh.
Oo, parang kumbaga parang kay Goku charge.
Parang nagcha-charge na rito eh. At nararamdaman na nga dito ng ArkAngel ang tagumpay as they were want to secure the second Lord dito mga kaibigan. But Bulwit tried to get a vision dito pero mukhang delikado yon, TDZ.
Tinamaan ng Imperial Justice with the Feathered Airstrike. Bulasan muna, sabi dito ng SB, mukhang nahuli tayo. Pero sandali lang, sabi ng AA, hindi naman kapipigilan. Ubusan, nahuli na naman 47 seconds without the Claude. At double kill para kay Escalera. Extension na ang susunod. 4-4-0 exchange. At AA, binate lang namin kayo. Kunwari lang maglo-lord kami, pero ito na kami. Didiretso na kami sa gitna. Hinihintay lang namin ang next minion wave. At mukhang tatapusin na yata ng ArkAngel ang laban. Very 2018, kaya ba niyang i-feathered airstrike to? Pero mukhang hindi yata abot dun sa may main cannon wave. At mukhang may ipit siya sa loob. AA will win the match 2-0 against Empire.
That was definitely